it up. It's The Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the band Lina and the Lion singer Lina Lane to the program.
Hello there, Jimmy.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, you're welcome. Where are you residing?
In Sheffield, England. So, have you heard of it before?
Oh, yeah, of course. Isn't that where some of the guys from Def Leppard are from?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's a nice city. It's really, really nice. And it's close to Manchester, if you've heard of that. So it's a great place to be.
Absolutely. I remember Def Leppard back in the day in the 80s. They're still going now.
Yes. Yeah, they're amazing. I'm a fan. Def Leppard are great. You know, you've got to listen to them. They're a very good band. And yeah. And you are in South Carolina, is that right?
Yes, I'm in a town called North Myrtle Beach. I grew up, though, in New Jersey, right near New York City.
Nice. I lived in London for about 4 years, and it was really hectic. I studied music there, and, you know, I'm guessing it's a lot like New York. If you were to go there, you know, you'd get on the subway, it was the tube in London and the underground, and you'd just start running for no reason. And you think, why am I running right now? And it's because everyone else is doing it. But in Sheffield, it's more chilled. You know, it's still a city, but people are very relaxed, and it's a nice place to be, other than there's grey skies most of the time because it's England. I'm guessing you get a lot more sunshine.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Like when it rains, it only rains for like maybe 20, 30 minutes. And then the sun's out the rest of the day. I live, like if you leave my house and you go to the corner and you look down the street, you could see the ocean from the corner.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how close I live to the beach. Yeah. Yeah.
Here you look outside the house and there's the motorway, which is the highway.
Yeah. So you hear a lot of noise?
It's not too bad. It depends what time of the day. So if it's like in the morning, you know, when the trucks are about to do their travel, then yeah. But, you know, it depends. You've got to, you know, because the studio's close by as well. So sometimes you have to stop recording if you're recording something quiet, or you have to gain quite high. But, you know, you get used to it. You work around it.
How long have you been recording music? When did you start recording music?
I started recording music when I was a teenager, but I studied music, and then I went into music production for a little while and kind of left songwriting alone, and it was a mistake. I think I kind of chased after right now rather than what I really want to do, and it was all good fun, and I've learned a lot throughout the journey. And I was always songwriting, but not putting it first and not making it my full-time thing. And in 2014, I decided to just go for it and kind of chase my purpose. And yeah, I haven't stopped. I've got about maybe over 400 songs written.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And those are in the column of the keepers. There's also the column of maybe not this time. So I write daily, and it's my passion and my true love, really. It's
pretty cool. Now, can you tell me about the band, the Lions? Who's in the band, and where they
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to. So Lina and the Lions. I'm Lina, and the Lions are actually me and a producer, pretty much. And the other two members in the band are Ash, who plays guitar, and Abby on drums. But the core members are myself and Lee. Lee plays keys and a bit of guitar. He's like a multi-instrumentalist, but he's the producer. He's pretty much the other half of the Lions, you know. I wanted it to be myself and a band name because I'm a big fan of live shows. I've grew up, listening to bands, John Jett and the Hearts, that kind of thing. So I wanted to have a band name. And so I thought, great, we'll go with, Lina and the Lions, got a kind of a romantic name to it. I kind of liked it. So we went with that. And yeah, and I think as it went on, it felt like the Lions is a bigger thing. It's like the fans and everyone around the project became the Lions. It's like me and an entity, and it's an amazing feeling. I absolutely love it. It's awesome. But yeah, so there's me, Lee, Ash, and Abby at the moment, and we rock it.
Cool. I love your style and sound. Who are some of your influences? You have that 80s, 90s vibe, in my opinion, which I think is totally cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. So one of my biggest heroes, Cyndi Lauper. She's one of my favorite singers. I remember listening to her when I was a kid, and I didn't understand why she sounded the way that she did. She had like a punk element, and she's amazing. Michael Jackson, of course. Then there's Bruce Springsteen. I'm a big fan of Springsteen.
Wow,
and in the 90s, it was No Doubt. And some more like grungy, punky bands like Garbage. And
very cool bands.
Yeah, I really love those bands. And there's actually a bit, I love Nirvana as well. So a bit of everything, really. But my biggest influences are definitely Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, Michael Jackson, No Doubt, really up there.
Yeah, I played, I sent one of my buddies who's a DJ in Los Angeles, one of your links to your videos. And he listened to it this morning, and he goes, you know who she sounds like a little bit? She sounds a little bit like Berlin. Remember the band Berlin?
I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta check that out. There's a song called Metro.
Metro.
Yes, Metro. It's by a group called Berlin. And once he told me that, I was like, yeah, I could hear it a little bit. Yeah.
Good. No, thank you for that. That's amazing. And thank you for playing our record for him. I think it's really strange. I think when you're a new band as well and you have different influences, you struggle to decide who you really sound like, because you think you sound like your main influences, but sometimes you end up not, you just take elements of those sounds and then make up your own. So, sometimes I do sit there wondering, who do we really sound like? So that's great. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool compliment. Your brand new album, Second Nature, which is available for pre-order right now. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So we started recording Second Nature just before kind of COVID started last year. And we were in our studio in Sheffield, and then lockdown happened, and we just decided just to hit it really hard and get the album recorded and done, because it felt like just like this light that we were creating for people. And my music is about finding hope in a time of darkness, kind of making positivity your second nature. And beating the negative voices, this whole I can't do this, I can't do that, be a can do kind of person. And that's what the album's about. And it was very much born out of love and hope for society and our town and the dreamers in the town, all the artists, the musicians, the DJs, the dancers. I wanted everyone to not give up on their dream, just like I didn't want to give up on mine. When they said live music is not happening, I was like, this is crazy, and for me that was like a torch of hope. I wanted everybody who ever had a dream or ever had a purpose to not give up on it. So that's what Second Nature is about. And yeah, it's a 10-track album, and it's very much 80s, 90s influenced, synth-heavy, energetic vocals, and it's actually got a secret track on it as well that we've not listed, but it's there. And I used to love when bands did that. I don't know if you remember, they did it in the 90s. Yeah.
Oh, they did it when I was in school. They did that. The 80s and the early 90s. They always do bonus tracks, especially on the vinyl.
Yes, exactly.
You just recently sent me 2 singles from this album, one being Physical Space and the other one About Us. What's the story behind those 2 songs? Sure.
So I wrote Physical Space, I think it was early last year, and I was in a bad place myself, and I wanted everything to change around me. I was like, if this could change and if that could change, and, my day would be better, my life would be better. Then I kind of had a moment of reflection and realized, it's actually me that needs to change, not everything around me. And I just started to write the song, and I realized I shouldn't wish days away or time away. I should make the most of my physical space and the most of my time here. And that's what Physical Space is about. And I want it to be like a driving song, so something that keeps moving, and hence the beat and the changes. So that's Physical Space. And About Us, I had to tell you the full story. So I was sitting at a traffic light at early hours in the morning. I was coming back from a gig, and a lady pulled up next to me in a car, and she looked so tired and fed up. She was looking at herself in the mirror, and I imagined her to be on her way home. She might have been on her way to work, but I thought maybe she's on her way home. And I made up this whole story about her, I bet she's arguing with herself that she's having a bad time. And and this woman just staring at me thinking, why is this crazy lady looking at me like this? I just made up this whole story, and I imagined negative thoughts coming to her head and her almost coming to them. And I imagined her in a boxing ring for some reason. And then I imagined myself in a boxing ring. I don't know where my head was. I was clearly just a bit tired. And then I just started singing About Us. And the song is about knocking out the negativity in your head. So when you get negative thoughts, just kind of knock them out, don't let them in. I think I must have been watching Rocky that week. I'm a big fan of Sylvester Stallone and the Rocky movies.
Yeah, they're good movies.
Yeah, they're amazing. So I think that's what happened. I think that with the music in my head, About Us was born. And with mental health on the rise, and people having anxiety and low self-esteem, I think that's what the song is about. So
Yeah, that makes total sense to me, especially, with this pandemic, that anyone who had anxiety before, I'm sure it's 10 times worse, during the lockdown, right?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I have a few friends in my small circle who have definitely suffered with anxiety throughout this. So, I really hope the song reaches the right people at the right time and makes them feel better.
Mm-hmm. You have a lot of really cool videos on your YouTube channel. And like I said, you're welcome. And like I said earlier, it's a total 80s, 90s vibe, in my opinion. Reminds me so much of the days of MTV. I really enjoyed all of them, especially the one we just talked about us. Who comes up with the ideas for the videos? I really dig the boxing concept and the fighter and the ring. I
have to give 100% of the credit to Lee, who's, again, he's the producer. We're very much a team of two people, and the other musicians kind of join us on the live parts of the of the journey. But Lee's just amazing. He's so creative. So it feels like when I tell him what the song is about, he just picks up a piece of paper and just draws it out like he's in my head. It's amazing. And we're a DIY band. Everything's pretty much just done by two people. Mm-hmm. So the boxing ring idea, he bought a tiny model boxing ring.
Yeah.
And he just put it in the middle of the table. He spent the whole day kind of filming it on his iPhone. Mm-hmm. And then he was explaining to me that we're going to be in that boxing ring. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea. And then he filmed this in his dad's garage, actually.
Wow. That's
and Megan, who does backing vocals for us, she was kind of my body double, and we filmed it there, and he just magically made it happen. In a week he worked probably 12 hours a day every day for a week, all by himself, and it happened because he's just very talented, very sweet, and very creative, and I'm very, very lucky to have him as part of the team.
Now he does all the other videos as well?
So the first two were actually a company that are based in Manchester, also very creative. They're called Cosmic Joke.
Okay.
So they did This Fire and Physical Space, and that was shot in a big empty warehouse in Sheffield. And Lee kind of did come up with the ideas, but they kind of shot the whole thing and bounced ideas with him. Mm-hmm. But Call Me and About Us are completely Lee's creation. So
yeah, he did a phenomenal job on that video. I mean, it's great. Like I said, MTV written all over it, back in the day. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Those cool videos.
I suppose it pays to be kind of a bit geeky and have a lot of time to watch MTV growing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's terrible what happened to it. I mean, they turned it into a reality television show. They don't even play music on there anymore. So thank God for YouTube, because you have that outlet to showcase your art form, in a visual way, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I remember it changing. I remember because I used to tape it. Mm-hmm. I had to watch all the music videos all the time. Mm-hmm. So when it became more of a reality, TV station, it was heartbreaking. Totally. I remember feeling like that. Where's the music?
Yeah. And what I think is funny is they still have an MTV Music Awards show every year, but I don't ever see videos. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell they're showing them. I mean, maybe there's that. Yeah, it's they don't have TRL. Remember Total Request Live with Carson Daly? They used to have the videos, and they would broadcast live from Times Square, and they would do the countdown, and they would show the top 10 videos of the day. And even when I was a kid, they had a show called Headbangers Ball. That was for all the rockers, like Def Leppard was on there, Van Halen and stuff. That would be on like every Friday night, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like, it's all gone now,
Yeah.
So thank God for sites like YouTube.
Oh, totally. I mean, that's the one kind of saving grace to it all. And in a way, kind of, with the internet and social media, I suppose small artists have got a chance to put their music out there and reach people. I mean, really, we've only started in January this year. Like, that's when we put out the first single, and we've hit it hard on Instagram. We thought, okay, we need to find one platform and kind of build, find our fans, find people who are going to like us, and reach out to them. And Instagram's been great. It's been a lot of hard work, because for musicians, we're not marketing experts, but we're
Right.
You know, that's what you got to do these days. You've got to play the game in that way. And obviously during lockdown, we couldn't gig, so we couldn't play our music live to people. So the only outlet we had was social media and
right.
YouTube. So, you know, we kind of hit it hard, and yeah, it's been good. It's been a good journey so far.
Awesome. I just recently visited your website over the last couple of weeks, and I've LinaandtheLions.com, and which has all your social media links on it, as well as merchandise, music. You got t-shirts, CDs, vinyl. And the one thing that really caught my eyes, you're selling cassettes, man. That is like 1980s. Like, that is totally cool. Whose idea was it to do that?
Me.
That is so cool, man. I still have my tapes from the 80s.
Me too. I still got some cassettes up. I love, yeah.
Then I have the tape player that works, and I even have 8-tracks. Are you going to do one on 8-track by any chance?
Do you know what? You've just given me a great idea. I will tell Lee, and you will make his day, because anything challenging, like it's not a challenge, you know. But yeah, I can't see why not.
I mean, that's like 8-track would be totally 70s, and the cassette is definitely totally 80s. Like, that is so cool. I've
got to send you a copy of the cassette when it arrives, since you've still got a cassette player. You've earned that. You've earned it.
I love cassettes. I still play mine.
I love it, but I think I'm a big fan of the physical as well. It's really strange, because me and Lee were talking the other day, and he's a huge Green Day fan. And he was saying that the first time he didn't buy a Green Day album was when it was available for streaming. And he said, and since then, he kind of lost the connection with them. And I'm a strong believer in physical items. I mean, I love I'm a big Queen fan as well. I love Queen. You know, I've got all their albums on vinyl, and I've got some CDs, I've got some cassettes. And it's because I feel like I want a part of them with me here, you know, and if they created the artwork, you know, I don't know, there's just something about the physical item that makes it real to you a bit more. Do you think that?
Oh, I love physical. I mean, there's nothing like opening up an album or a cassette and reading the liner notes and, you know, holding it in your hand. And, you know, I just love that. I still buy records. I got all these records here. These are all my albums. Behind me, that shelf behind me is all 45s.
No way. That's amazing.
They're all in alphabetical order.
Oh, gosh.
And then the other shelf is all CDs. That. So yeah, I have a pretty big collection. That's
amazing. Good for you. That's the way it should be, really.
Yep. So you know, folks, if you're listening, LinaandtheLions.com, you can get that on cassette.
Yes, that's where it's at.
And it's available now for pre-order, right?
Yes, it is. So the album will be ready to be shipped on the 20th of August. So we'll have all the merch here ready to go on the 20th. As for now, it's just a pre-order, and yeah, get your hands on them. We've got some cool bundles as well, you know, t-shirt, album, it all kind of goes together. So designed by us as well. It's all designed by our tiny little team.
Cool. So, is there anything else you'd like to talk about that I didn't mention?
Trying to think. Yeah, that I'd love to visit the US.
That would be cool.
Yes, and I'd love to tour the US. And I think as soon as, you know, things are a bit more shaping up for us to be able to come and visit and also to tour, we'll be there. And I really look forward to it.
Cool. Well, Lina, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I really dig your style and your sound, and I can't wait to hear the rest of the album when it comes out. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. And thank you for not having any trouble understanding my Sheffield accent. Oh, I talk to people in the UK all the time. So that's amazing. I'm really impressed. So, but yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, thank you. It's great. Well, you're welcome. And anytime you want to come back, if you put out another album next year, keep in touch, send me a message, and we'd love to have you back on. All right. Sounds great, Jimmy. Thank you so much. Have a great day. You too. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.